Welcome to Lesson 5 in Unit 23, Celestial Clocks and Calendars. In this lesson, students will work to answer the question, how can the stars help us tell time? In this lesson, students investigate how stars change positions over time by exploring a planisphere and creating a graph of constellations by month. Students figure out that different stars are observed in the night sky throughout the year. This pattern is caused by the revolution of the Earth around the Sun and axial tilt. Star movement can help us tell the time of year. Students make connections to the storyline by learning how the ancient Ojibwe civilization used the movement of constellations to tell time. There are several opportunities for ELA and social studies cross-curricular connections throughout the lesson. You can look for specific standard connections in the Unit 23 Teacher Guide. This lesson will take approximately 3 to 4 days to complete. For the Engage portion, you'll bring the class together and explain that ancient people used to connect the brightest stars to create imaginary shapes, called constellations. You can post and discuss the constellation vocabulary card. You'll show students constellation images and revisit the driving question board. You'll add any new questions and highlight others connected to the learning goals of this lesson by calling attention to questions about why there are different constellations in the sky throughout the year and how the stars can help us tell time. For the Explore portion, you'll show students the planisphere from the MySci kit and access the virtual planisphere. You'll ask questions about what students notice and what they think the planisphere can be used for. You'll explain to students that astronomers and those interested in tracking the stars may use a planisphere to assist in recognizing stars and constellations visible in the night sky from any given location and any given month. You'll then model how to use the virtual planisphere for students. You can post and discuss the planisphere vocabulary card. You'll place students into groups and assign them a year. You'll have students use their constellation list, student journal page, and the virtual planisphere to create a grid of the visible constellations for each month of the year at a particular time on the Constellations Grid student journal page. After students have created their grid, you'll refer them to the discussion questions at the bottom of the page. Next, you'll jigsaw students so they can compare data across years to look for patterns. In the Explain portion of the lesson, students will engage in a class discussion. You'll invite them to gather and analyze their observations from the investigation. You'll use the provided questions to guide the discussion around how can the stars help us tell time. The goal of this class discussion is to use the students' observations to help them explain why some constellations can be seen all year, while others are only visible at certain times. You will use the discussion to create the Lesson 5 summary chart. From the discussion, students should understand that when certain constellations appear in the sky, the Ojibwe know what season is coming, how long it is lasting, and when it will end. This helps them prepare for different conditions in each season. During the discussion, you'll show a video about constellations. You'll also use the virtual planisphere to investigate differences in constellations between the northern and southern hemispheres. For the Elaborate portion, you'll ask students how they could use stars to help them tell the time of year. Next, you'll share and discuss images and videos about how the Ojibwe connect with the sky, using the questions in the notes. You'll have them record their takeaways in their Culture Note Catcher student journal page. You'll go to the Figures in the Sky website and share with students that this site shows the constellations different cultures made with the same star. For the Evaluate portion, you'll support student sense-making across the unit by orienting them back to the driving question board. Ask students, what did we learn about how the stars can help us tell time? And what new questions do we have? By the end of this lesson, students will have represented data in graphical displays to observe patterns in constellations throughout the year. In Lesson 6, students will observe patterns in the phases of the moon. For the optional Extend, you can have students consider constellation differences between their location and a second chosen location on Earth. For example, what constellations can they see on their birthday? How does this compare with someone living in a different location? For more information about this unit, visit myscipartners.com.